Hello, this is Todd Luck, and this is a review of The Monster Men Heart of Wrath number 3 from American Mythology. So this is the last issue in a 3-issue miniseries based on the Edgar Rice Burroughs novel Monster Men, and this is a story that follows up what happens after the original novel. The original novel basically had scientists on a jungle island trying to create artificial men, and what happened was they came out, kind of subhuman. And so this is the survivors from that coming back to the island to look for subject number 13 to see if he survived. And sure enough, he did. And there's another compound on the island now, and things just get, kind of interesting. And so let's take a look at this glorious cover. So this is a horror title, and this cover really captures that. Now, this is a variant cover, and I did not get this by choice, and I'll go into that at the end because it's a little bit of a tangent, but I'm not going to be talking about like the price point or what they've done to the colors for this variant. I'm just going to talk about the shadows and the pencils and the inks, because that is what's on the regular cover. Here it's just, it loses its color. But I gotta say, the artist, Roy Allen Martinez, who also does the interiors, knocks it out of the damn ballpark. This is by far the best cover. This is a issue seller if your comic shop actually would bother putting this on the shelf. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. It captures the menace and the mystery and the darkness that is in this issue, and it's just really cool looking. I mean, honestly, this is a really kind of iconic image. I could see this being put on a novel cover, Again, this is something that moves units. This is something that you look at this cover and you're just like, I want that. And the artwork on the interior is just as impressive. It continues to carve its images out of darkness and portray night as just this complete sheet of black. And it's just really impressive, just really well done. Wonderful storytelling, wonderful rendering, and again, just perfectly captures the intensity and the horror and just the mystery, of being surrounded by darkness and not knowing what's out there. And the story continued to be excellent, excellent pacing, and it wraps up the immediate situation that the characters are in a satisfying way and in a badass way. I mean, this is if you've bought the other American Mythology comic books, this is kind of the equivalent of those incredible action scenes just done at night with a more intense horror sort of theme to it. And it's just really wonderful, and it does set up for the next Monster Men miniseries, which will be called Monster Men Island of Terror. And they don't give any information other than there is one coming, and that's the name of it. I hope they keep the same creative team. They are knocking it out of the ballpark. This is one of those rare instances where you get a comic book that is firing on all cylinders. Every single member of this creative team is just doing stellar work. This is an incredible piece of comic book art and storytelling from cover to the final page. It is just my highest possible recommendation to pick up this comic. And so that's my thoughts on this really awesome miniseries. And again, they've been really just knocking it out of the ballpark with all the Monster Men comics up until now. There's the special, and then there's this 3-issue miniseries, and then that's it. It's just 4 issues so far, but so far all of them have been great. So let me talk about, now that we're done with the review, let me go on that tangent and talk about how I ended up with a $10 variant of this issue. So this issue actually came out last month. It came out several weeks ago. Unfortunately, I missed that. I usually check Diamond Comics to see what's shipping. Apparently, I just overlooked this. I thought it was delayed because I didn't see it on Diamond Comics. And so eventually I did look it up, and I was like, I wonder what the new ship date was. And then I'm like, oh, it was the one that I thought it was shipping originally. And then I, contacted my comic shop and asked them to order it for me like, about a week or so ago. And so when they finally got it, I didn't really pay attention when they were ringing me up because I know how much comic books cost. They're $4 a pop. There's no surprises. There's nothing to look out for at the register. So I just hand them my card, let them swipe it. I don't care what it costs. You know, I know it's $4 a piece. Then I got it home and I noticed the cover price on the comic was $9.99, and I'm like, what in the world just happened? And so I realized this must be some kind of more expensive variant. And I contacted them, and they said apparently the regular edition must have been sold out, and this was the only one left. I mean, if that was the case, why not have told me that? I mean, if I'm going to go from paying $4 from something to 10, which is a huge jump, you know, for a comic book, why wouldn't you have told me that up front? And the fact that they missed me on it in the first place, you know, this was on my pull list. And, you know, again, I do try to check Diamond Comics and go there the week of and, you know, ask for it, you know, if it's not in my box. But, you know, I missed it this time. And unfortunately, this is, you know, what I ended up with is this, you know, more expensive variant instead of the regular issue. And to kind of make matters worse, I should also be reviewing Zorro in the Land That Time Forgot #2 this week, but I'm not because that is also on my list, and they also had to special order the first issue because they missed it, and they also missed me on the second issue. So I'm going to have to wait on that, and they're going to special order that. But hopefully, because I got it the week of, I caught that mistake. Hopefully when they special order it, it will be the regular edition and not $10. Because as much as I love these American mythology comics, they are fantastic. It does suck to have to pay $10 for them because that's just not, you know, that's not who I am as a comic collector. I'm a reader, and I want the regular issue unless it's just some kind of really special variant cover I'm willing to pay more for. But, you know, I don't really want the $10 variant. And so this kind of brings up the problem with American mythology comics, or, well, it's not with American mythology, it's with comic shops, because they're not ordering these comics. And so you have to rely on them special ordering you every single issue because we're not getting any for the shelf, or at least that's my experience. Some comic shops are probably carrying them on the shelf, and God bless them for that. But mine isn't one of them, so I have to ask for every single series, and if they skip me on stuff that's on my pull list, I have to ask for every single issue, and that is a endeavor that is filled with human error, you know, because if they are just ordering every single issue a comic book publisher publishes on the shelf, you can just go to the shelf and pick it up. If they have to enter in the exact code to get the exact issue, then there is always the potential for human error, which is what I am experiencing. And so while this is frustrating, I still say support your local comic shop, because in my case, this is just a really recent development. It's just been within the last few months that they've had issues with getting me issues, because before then they'd been very accurate with getting the things that I'd been requesting. And who knows, maybe it's some screw ups on the part of Diamond Comics, who does the comics distribution. You know, you don't know. It's, you know, a process that can be filled with human error, and so you just have to be patient and sometimes forgiving. But again, the point is, buy Monster Men and the Edgar Rice Burroughs comics from American mythology, because right now they are really wonderful. And I've got more reviews coming, so like and subscribe for more videos. And until next time, see ya.